And it's going to be tougher and tougher and tougher to be a Christian. Trust me. The Bible tells us that even the elect will be deceived. That means us. We're even going to be deceived. Well, how's that going to be? Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you keep God at a distance in your life as a professed Christian, you will be deceived. Because the Satan is awful tricky, awful wired, very subtle. So the closer we stay to God, the better off folks will be. So we're in a battle. God issues a call from Psalm 94:16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? The third question. Have you not made a habit of forsaking the house of God? Hebrews 10:25 says, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching. But yet, I hear a lot of people, well, I don't go to church because of this and this. I don't go to church because of this. I don't go to church because of that. So-and-so goes to St. John's and I don't like them. And so-and-so goes to First Church. And some folks go to the Nazarene. And I don't like some folks that go to the Baptist. I don't like some of them go to Catholic. I don't like some of them to go here. I don't like some of them to go there. Well, get real. You better get in somewhere. Because that's not going to hold up when you stand before a holy God. I'm not about to go to church with a bunch of hypocrites. That's what they say. Well, I'll tell you what. I'd rather go to church with a bunch of hypocrites and try to do a bit and get to heaven than not go to church with a bunch of hypocrites and go to hell.
Amen. Yes.
You like that? I know you were responding. I just assumed you liked what I said. Or were you just making fun of me? Maybe both? God will get you for that. What was I? Oh, yeah. Trying to make excuses why we don't assemble in God's house. You know what I tell people? Well, if you don't come to St. John's, there's like 6 or 7 other churches in Horseman's area. You have no excuse. They just don't want to go. You have no excuse. If I let people bug me, I would have quit the ministry, folks, a long time ago. I'm still in it, going on 21 years. I've had all kinds of things said to me and done to me, and yeah, I felt like quitting. But who am I doing this for? Who do I have to answer? I don't have to answer to any of you.
Amen.
And you don't have to answer to me. There's somebody else that's a lot higher than Tracy and I, and Jim Strotman sitting back there. He's so tall, he put right through his hair. And if you were to look at the next verse, verse 26 of Hebrews 10:26, it's no accident that the very next verse in this passage refers to willful sin. After the truth has been revealed, indeed it is a proven historical fact that people become more careless and more neglectful just prior to judgment and calamity. Did you hear what I said? People become more careless and more neglectful just before judgment and just before calamity. It's a historical fact. We have grown, what's the word I'm looking for? Complacent. Judgment's not too far away. It could come for you today. I'm a poet and didn't know it. I made those last 2 words of a sentence rhyme. Did you all catch that?
Yeah.
And I really had no intention of doing it, but it just came out. Well, I've already got it. So how did you all do on the test? Remember what the first one was? What was the first question? Do what? Are you looking forward to His appearing? Okay. What's the second one? Yeah. Do you hate God's enemies? You know? And the third one was, are you neglecting the house of God? Are you neglecting assembling together? How'd y'all do on the test? How do you feel about the test? Have your interests, your work, your possessions, or even maybe your ministry become more important to you than the Lord's interests? Have you neglected your family? Are you satisfied because you go to church on Sunday and say, well, I've done my part, God? Sometimes it's not enough, folks, just to come to church on Sunday morning. And I know it's tough. I know it's tough. I know it's tough. I know it's tough because we start services so early at 6 o'clock when we start service. It's hard to get up and come to church at 6 o'clock in the morning. I like to sleep in. Well, how late do you sleep in? Get careful, that bed's going to be close to your death. Get it? The bed one of these days can be the death of somebody because they've been sleeping too late on Sunday morning and not gotten to church. That's what my dad told his sister one time. We used to sleep in 7 o'clock on Saturday morning. We got to sleep in. My youngest sister, we were eating breakfast, it was 8 o'clock. My youngest sister was still in bed. And Dad hauled up to her and he said, Sandy, since you better get up, he said, that bed's going to be a cause of your death. Will you spiritualize that? You become lazy, you want to sleep in on Sunday morning, go ahead. It could be your death. So how are we doing? All of us are going to give an accounting for our lives. What we've done, and what we haven't done. And I'm going to give an altar call. Why do I give an altar call? Why give an altar call? Because there's something about coming, and when they got into the promised land, what was the first thing they did? They built an altar. An altar becomes very important. That's a place where most of us, if not all of us, have been saved. It's a place where we humble ourselves. In other words, we bow the knee. Yeah, I know you can accept Christ back into your pew, but there's something about coming forward, confessing. When Billy Graham gave altar calls, you came forward. You didn't stand in the stands. You came forward. You're publicly admitting that I need Christ in my life. And so that's why I give an altar call. And I'm giving an altar call as we stand and as we sing the song. Jesus is tenderly